all ends now.
Happy Halloween, everybody. Here I am back again to talk about another Halloween film, and that is Halloween Ends, the third and final film in this new trilogy, directed once again by David Gordon Green. 4 years after the events of Halloween Kills, the town of Haddonfield has been recovering after the events of Michael's latest killing spree. Michael hasn't been seen since. Laurie, played once again by Jamie Lee Curtis, has been living with her granddaughter Allison, played again by Adi Matichak, and Laurie has been writing her memoirs. But after a young man named Corey has been accused of murdering a kid who he was babysitting, this will force Laurie to confront the evil she cannot control once and for all. And that was the IMDb plot synopsis. And after reading that, after the first trailer premiered, I was like, what does that mean? I was disappointed with Halloween Kills. And since this was going to be the last film in this new trilogy, as well as the last installment of the Halloween franchise, I was a bit optimistic for the most part. But after watching the 2018 film and Kills back to back, before seeing this film, I was like, well, I hope the third movie isn't as bad as the second film. And after seeing the Halloween Ends, I was really let down by this. Although there was interesting things about this new film, there was just a whole lot in this film that will definitely piss off a large majority of the fan base. For the most part, I really love what they do with Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode. After her taking a back seat in the second film, I mean, she's definitely given a lot to do in this film. I like her story arc in this film. I like that they show her trying to move on from her past with Michael. I mean, her trying to embrace a new life, trying to have a normal life with her granddaughter Allison, played again by Adi Matichak. Her and Jamie Lee Curtis have really great chemistry together. I really love these characters. John Carpenter's score is also really good, and what else can I say? It's John Carpenter. Of course, his score for Halloween is going to be great. As for the rest, I thought really carefully about this, and I really cannot see myself talking about this film without talking about spoilers. So, if you haven't seen the film, I would say maybe check it out on Peacock, but don't waste your time seeing this in the theater, because, I mean, if you are a fan of this franchise, I mean, I'm pretty sure this is going to frustrate you. Even though Michael Myers is in most of the advertisement for this film, and the posters and the trailers and everything, he has less screen time compared to the screen time that he had in the previous two films. I would say he has about like 4 or 5 minutes of screen time at best. And no, I am not making this up. And that really frustrated me. And the first act does take a little bit too long for the story to get moving forward. And I remember like looking at my phone a few times and like being like, we're almost like an hour in and nothing has happened yet. So the first act is a little bit of a bore, so to speak. And when it comes to the character of Corey, played by Rowan Campbell, his story arc is interesting at first. I mean, it has like a really, really chilling opening. I mean, with him accidentally killing this kid that he was babysitting, and the kid's parents, as well as like most of the people of Haddonfield, think of him as a murderer. But when Corey begins to descend into insanity and eventually bumps into Michael, he begins going down a dark path. And that alone was a bit interesting at first. And he kind of takes the spotlight in this film as the movie's big bad, so to speak. And even assists him in like a few murders. So he becomes like his accomplice, so to speak. But like after him and Michael kill this like one couple, he fights Michael over his mask, and Corey goes on a killing spree on his own, wearing Michael's mask, killing these bullies, and I was like, this is the direction that you guys wanted to go with for the final film in this new trilogy, and what is supposed to be the last film in this franchise. When it comes to the final confrontation between Laurie and Corey, and eventually, after that, Laurie against Michael, Laurie at first shoots Michael. I mean, he doesn't have, like, the same, like, insane durability that Michael has. And before, like, Allison, like, walks in, like, and check up on Laurie, Corey tries to commit suicide, and I'm like, damn, man. He made a statement, like, earlier, when he had, like, one conversation with Laurie about, like, if he can't have Allison, then no one will. At first, I thought, will he try to kill Allison? Instead, he tries to commit suicide, and that pisses Allison off. This leaves Allison thinking that Laurie tried to kill Corey. And after that, Michael eventually shows up and he finishes off Corey by breaking his neck. And Laurie and Michael finally have their final battle, which is, like, what we've wanted to see this entire time. Everything that we've wanted to see, everything that they've been building up to since the 2018 film, finally happens. And I didn't know I have, like, mixed feelings on this. I mean, there's a bit of a shaky cam. I mean, the way it's shot, and with it being, like, in a dark room, in a dark kitchen, there are some moments where you can barely see what's going on. But Laurie pins down Michael and slits his throat. Allison even, like, comes back and helps Laurie kill Michael. And after that, they have, like, this funeral of sorts for Michael, and dump his body in an industrial shredder, and this, like, shreds his body to pieces. And I'm like, damn. And I was actually surprised that they had the balls to actually kill Michael Myers. I mean, the film is titled Halloween Ends. At first, I thought this would mean that both either Laurie would die or Michael would die. But Michael dies for sure in this film. So yeah, this is a very weak conclusion to this new trilogy, especially with how strong the 2018 film started. I'd say it's better than Kills, to be honest, but it's definitely not the conclusion that I would want for this new trilogy. So I'm going to give Halloween Ends a C-. Yeah, I know, that's the same grade that I gave Kills. In a way, I think this is a little bit better than Kills. But when it comes to the story in both Kills and Ends, that's where it falters for me. So what did you think of the film? Let me know in the comments below. And guys, thank you so much as always for watching. Looking forward to doing more videos really soon. And if you want my thoughts on old or new films, of course, you know where to find me.